world champion. I'd like to invite up now the chairman of Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Thank you, Ryan. Firstly, what a great turnout here in New York. We just want to echo the words of Alfie and Maurizio about the unbelievable work that DAZN are doing in the sport of boxing. We made our move to DAZN a few years ago in America and recently in the UK. We saw the vision that they had to become the global home of boxing. And every weekend, there is a mega fight from around the world. This is one of the greatest fights that could be made in the sport. We're fresh off Orlando, Oaxaca, got Japan coming up, and in just 10 days' time, on Friday, March the 8th, Anthony Joshua fights Francis Ngannou in Riyadh. This really is the unrivaled home of boxing. I just want to say particularly well done to Oscar and Bill for making this fight, and well done for Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, because without the fighters winning the biggest tests, we don't see fights like this happening. I see Mr. Garcia on his throne. He's a very handsome man, but this guy to the right, he's a different kind of breed. What Bill has done with Devin has been an incredible story of father and son. In the early days, paying for his fights in Mexico, probably for no purses. They hustled their way to get recognised, to get respected. And when we joined up with him in 2019, I met a man that was very special. In 2020, he told me to get him Vasily Lomachenko. I thought it was a terrible idea. He said, get me that fight. We chased that fight to the point where the WBC had no choice but to make him champion. It's not something he wanted to earn it against the best. And I'm so pleased now that he's getting the plaudits that he deserves. Because from there, after beating Jojo Diaz and Jorge Linares, he got the opportunity to go into the backyard of George Kambosos in Australia to become the undisputed champion. He then had to go back and do it all over again. Then he came back and he finally got his chance against Vasily Lomachenko. He chose that as a voluntary defense. Who does that? Who chooses Vasily Lomachenko as a voluntary defense? He did that. He moved straight up a weight class. He beats Regis Prograis in a shutout to become a 2-division world champion. And on April 20th at the Barclays Centre, these two are not just fighting for the prestigious WBC world title. They're fighting really as the face of boxing. The face of boxing in years to come, because they're 25 years old. This is what's going to make this sport great. And these are two great fighters, but this man to my right, I think he might be unbeatable. I think he might be one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. And when you're as dedicated to the sport as he is, and when you do things right...
That's a crazy statement.
You know like that?
First statement, dude, if anybody's beatable, that's cat.
Anyone's beatable.
I like you.
I like you. But I back this man every day of the week and twice on a Sunday.
You don't got a lie?
I don't lie. I just say.
You said you think he's unbeatable. I got you.
I do. I think he's unbeatable. But one thing I do is I respect you for taking this challenge, because you have proven time and time again you are willing to fight the very best in the sport, and that is great for boxing. But I will leave you with this: on April 20th, you will get an amazing card, and I'd see this man as being and still the WBC champion of the world. Thank you.
Well, it was almost 30 years ago to the day that a young Oscar De La Hoya won his first world title, knocking Jimmy Breedall down 3 times en route to a 10th round knockout. A little old there, Oscar, from this deep. On April 20th, you'll watch the biggest star in his promotional stable attempt to become a world champion for the very first time. To introduce the fighters and their teams, please welcome the chairman and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya.
Gracias. Thank you very much. And welcome to Fight of the Year. You have Devin Haney, who is an unbelievable talent, undefeated. He has worked his way up to becoming a major threat at 140 and at 135 and 147 if he decides to move up. But on the other hand, you have Ryan Garcia, who is literally willing who is willing to be the best, who is willing to take challenges. I mean, you have to think about this. Both fighters wanted this fight. When I was talking to Bill and Bill Haney Promotions, it was easy to make. We had a handshake deal in 10 minutes? When I talked to Ryan, he said, do it, let's go. I want to be great. I want to fight the best. I want to prove to the world, I want to prove to myself that I am the best. And here we are, in New York, the media capital of the world, the fight mecca. It's going down April 20th, and we're all excited. Are you guys excited? Let's go! If you guys didn't know, they fought 6 times already in the amateur, and they're 3-3. So this one does count. This fight here is, like they say, for all the marbles. This fight here is to see who the best fighter at 140 is. And the start of a great, great career at 140. The weight division is stacked with great, great talent like Teofimo Lopez. You got fighters who are moving up to 140, 147. So this is the weight class to watch. This is the fight to watch. The best fighting the best. And when I started Golden Boy, that was my vision. To have the best fight the best. And we're here now, today. I'm super excited because when you build a star, you have to fight in New York. You have to fight here to become the best, to be the best. And so I'm very, very excited, thrilled that both fighters are willing to be the best and fight the best. So thank you very much. I will now have the pleasure to introducing my partner, a legend, a champion in the middleweight division, a 2-time division champion. That's Bernard Hopkins to say a few words. Bernard.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quick. First of all, I'd like to thank the Zone. I'd like to thank everybody that had a lot to do with putting this fight together. All right, you got your word in. Listen, this what I want to make clear to everybody that's out there. This match was talked about years ago by Bill Haney, who came and asked me at a fight to make this fight, or at least try to influence it so it can happen. And I say that to say this, is that time do continue to move forward. And now, as we hear, and I've spoken this fight to an existence years ago, if you need some receipts to back up what I say, go to B-Hop the Alien, and you'll see the video on my Instagram. So, hold up. So, now that we are here, a lot of us got to be mindful what we ask for. Because what you ask for, you might not want when you get it. And so, this fight here in New York City, out of all places in the world, especially United States, this is the Mecca city to fight. And to get your to me, this is the place that you must come through to get your stamp of birth certificate approval of greatness. And when you come through New York City, whether it's Madison Square Garden, now the Barclays Center, you must show and prove, because one thing about New Yorkers and one thing about being on this East Coast, we show the world that you better come right. And so these two young fighters, young men, not kids, gotta understand that to be great, you must do great things. And the best in the division, like the Ray Leonard divisions, like the 70s division, the 80s divisions, or the 50 divisions, the best for the best, and that's what Golden Boy set out to do. That's how we spoke about this is how we wanted to do this, and we started off with what? We started off with Ryan Garcia. We started off with Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis and kept the momentum. Now, as all the sanctioning bodies and all the boxing fans, whether you biased or non-biased, you're starting to see a trend. You're starting to see a contagious fight by fight by fight, not only by us, by others. It sparked a flame in the boxing world. So let's not forget, because some have quick memories, but they have bad thinking and bad memories. So to everybody that understands the greatness of fights, this is one of those fights that can go down in history. Because I believe that both guys have the talent to change each of those minds that go in them rounds by round and be the winner. This fight here has a fight superstar stamped all over it, and I believe it will be.
Bernard, you want to squash the beef?
We don't have no beef.
Okay, there we go.
We don't have no beef.
There we go.
See, when it comes to knowing, and my partner can verify this, Oscar, when it comes to knowing greatness, I lost my first pro fight. And I told Ryan in the dressing room, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. And you must understand that, because the great ones that came up from wherever they came up off the ground, out of the penitentiary, anywhere else, and they became great. But it's very few who will continue to keep that mindset that it ain't over until it's over. And Ryan's career starts with this fight here, as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Bernard. Next, I would like to invite Devin Haney's father, manager and trainer, Bill Haney. He has done an incredible job shepherding his son to the top of the boxing world. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Devin Haney Promotions, Bill Haney.
First of all, I want to thank Allah for making this whole thing possible. I want to thank Oscar for having that fine, beautiful blue suit on to try to distract me from the shit that the alien just said. Because I'm telling you, I don't understand it. I didn't understand it then, and I still don't understand it now. When I came to him with business. I came to him with the best fighter in the world. And I came to him and I said, I'm going to go the proper protocol, and I'm going to approach you, and I'm going to bring Devin to him. I mean, I don't know where the animosity came with a bullshit plan. He says he's from, and he was in the penitentiary, and you know, he keep making these references back to the penitentiary, where some things that if you've really been in the penitentiary, you just don't bring up. The alien still seems to think that he can highlight that and somehow give off the image that he's doing something for the people. Well, no, he hasn't. You know what I mean? It's lucky that he has mended his thing with my good brother right here, Ryan Garcia, and the brown people, but definitely everything that he's done hasn't represented me or what my people stand for. So I'm gonna get past that part. And I'm gonna say what a wonderful fight that this is, and a wonderful opportunity to first, Eddie Hearn, Hall of Fame promoter within himself that Devin and we've been working with for quite some time. But I knew that this was gonna take something special. An assignment that Devin sent me to do was to approach the only human being that's a Hall of Fame fighter and a Hall of Fame promoter, and that's Oscar De La Hoya. Okay, and I put the onus on him. I said, listen, when you were a Hall of Fame fighter, you fought everybody. So as a Hall of Fame promoter, I put the onus on you that you are now going to make the fight between two guys in their prime, just like you did. And if you don't represent that, then I don't see you as the Hall of Fame promoter. And he assured me that that's just what he is. If both fighters wanted to fight, that he would assure that had happened. And he was a man of his word, and we made it happen. As far as Ryan Garcia and this whole thing about New York not being the place to make this fight happen. Well, I know that being from California, you can be tough, you can be the king in California, but if you ain't came through New York, then you ain't made it for real. I know this. that if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So that's where we came. It was a no-brainer. If it was Brooklyn, it was going to be. If it was Madison Square Garden, it's going to be. It didn't matter. And let me let you know this. It doesn't matter the state or the place, because Devin is going to beat up Ryan's pretty little face. And there's going to be some men that are going to be happy. And there's going to be some girls that's going to be crying. Because by round 5, down goes Ryan. Wait. Thank you. One more thing to not only Oscar De La Hoya, but also Holly De La Hoya, who's so underrated, who did a lot to make this fight happen. And shout out to Holly. I know she came up with the idea for the conference entrance with you beautiful girls. It wasn't Ryan's idea, it had to have been Holly. And shout out to Holly De La Hoya.
God, I swear, ask the girl. Did I come up with it? Thank you. I did.
Next, I would like to introduce someone who has become one of the go-to trainers for the world's leading fighters. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2-time Trainer of the Year and Ryan Garcia's head man in the corner, Derek James. Derek.
Well, everyone, I'm really happy to be here, and I would have never thought that, to be another big event. Audience was Devin was a great fighter. His father brought him a long way. Me and Ryan getting together, and I think it's going to be a really great deal. I can't wait to show everything we're working on and show just how good.